Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a penny town red. Can't let that shit down in my head, war gaming.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your weekly tabletop podcast. I am Shane. As always, I'm hanging out with Fox.
What's up, gang?
And of course, we've got Churchy.
And Rory. Our cheer squad.
You have tuned into
This.
the Hobby Homies podcast. Today we are talking about 3D printing and more specifically, resin 3D printing.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I actually prepared for all 3D printing.
Shit. Well, I've done nothing.
Well, that's fine. As you can see, we're in the print lab, the print farm. I believe we've got some Prusa, what is that, i3 Mark 3S's maybe? I don't know.
Mark 3S4s.
Those are actually really big spools on those printers for those on the YouTube watching, for those listening. Imagine big spools and then just enjoy the show.
Spooling it up.
So I own a few printers. And so what we thought we would do is have some beers and talk about printing.
Yep, I've done little printing. We don't need to talk about my history of printing.
No, actually, let's start with your history of printing because we probably got a minute to fill.
It was a brief minute. It was a fun minute. It was red hot. Red hot.
Tell me about it because I believe you bought, which is super relevant, your printer from Rory.
I did.
Who's
For
here in the studio.
$50. He paid more than that for it.
Anything sounds cheaper when you say dollars. Things sound cheaper.
No, $50?
I feel like $50 sounds more expensive than $50.
$50? Okay. I feel like when you say dollars, it immediately indicates a higher value. But anyway.
Oh, that's the difference that we have, and probably the thing that's going to tear us apart as a podcasting duo, to be honest.
It's like, yeah, it's only like $200, but that's $200.
Well, yeah, but no, it's not that expensive. It's not $200. It's only $200. Yeah. So you bought Rory's secondhand printer.
Yeah, which was a Aldi special.
Wow.
I think it was like one of those one house i3 or something.
How much did it cost you, Rory? Do you remember?
$300.
It cost you $300 and you sold it to Shane.
$300 and he sold it to me for $50. Yep.
What year did you buy that in, do you reckon? It was ages ago.
Back when they first...
When it was starting to become a thing. Yeah, so a $300 printer now is probably equivalent to a $50 printer.
Yeah.
Because the way the technology in those printers over the last 5 years has gone is nutty.
Yeah.
So we've talked about 3D printing before on the podcast.
Yep.
At length, apparently.
Apparently.
We saw an episode we did that Rory drew our attention to before we started this episode.
You guys have already done this.
They're like, you guys talked about 3D printing already. I was like, oh, really? Oh, my.
We've done a few episodes. They tend to blur together sometimes.
Yeah, over 200, in fact.
Mine was a filament printer.
Yours was a filament, like an FDM printer. Yeah. And so, and at the time that we recorded that previous episode where somehow we managed to talk about 3D printing for an hour, despite neither of us ever owned a resin printer.
Yeah.
I think I had talked to Lethal, who at the time was running the Goblin's Forge. And leaned heavily on his knowledge.
Yeah.
But now I've owned a 3D printer, a resin one, for a while. And I have 3 FDM printers.
Yep, you have a little print farm going. Not quite what you guys see here behind us.
No, behind us is, I don't know how many printers that is. Many.
7.
What do you reckon they do?
Print things.
Ah, true. It's actually a thing I didn't think about previously. They could do that.
They don't just catch fire.
Oh, well, I'm going to change some notes here. Okay, so there's a few we'll talk about quickly, just for those because there are actually still tabletop enthusiasts who don't really understand that there's 2 different types of printing.
Yeah.
So we'll hash those quickly, and then we'll talk about why on earth would you do it, pros and cons.
So not specifically resin printing?
No, not at all, actually.
I've
a little bit of both. Yeah, sorry.
You lied to me.
I did, actually.
What have you done?
I've deceived you because I feel like that'll make for more organic content. You'll be as surprised as the listeners.
That's cool.
Because you've got no idea what's happening.
0, in fact. So
the difference between the 2 types of printers that we've mentioned a couple of times here, which is FDM and SLA printing.
SLA, so that's obviously resin.
Correct. I actually call them dry and wet printing, which is
Yep.
Not good. No one
How
ever.
does your
No,
wife feel about that?
she doesn't know. She doesn't know I print.
don't talk.
Yeah. I haven't seen her in months. I've been in the print shed.
Yeah, fair.
Doing dry and wet printing.
Okay, yep.
So we've got FDM printing, which uses a little mechanical head to draw layers of print lines
Whipper cord.
by melting whippersnipper cord.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone's seen those 3D pens where like you click a pen and you can draw 3D things.
Yep.
It's that, but mechanical instead of humanoid. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yep.
And then you've got your other type, which is SLA printing, more commonly referred to in tabletop gaming as resin printing.
Because it uses a liquid resin.
Correct. It's a wet. It's wet. It's so wet.
Don't get it on you.
Yeah. Well, I've got it on me all the time. In fact, you can see this wound here.
Yep.
Yeah. So apparently I'm supposed to wear gloves. Who knew? And
Wear gloves, facts.
the way resin printing works is quite unique. It's got like a little screen underneath a liquid resin vat.
It's actually amazing how it works.
It's crazy.
It really is. That screen then lifts itself up.
Yeah.
And it prints from the bottom up.
Correct. Yeah. So the screen shines UV light, which cures the first layer of resin.
Yep.
And then the bed lifts up and cures the next layer.
Yep.
So it actually cures layer by layer, as opposed to FDM printing, which draws
Layer by layer.
layer by layer.
Yeah.
So you imagine you've got a mechanical head that's moving around the entire print bed
Yep.
versus one that cures the whole layer. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. And then moves up and cures the next layer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A thing that I said on the previous episode was that resin printing was much quicker. But after having done it, I feel like they're kind of the same. Rory pulled me up on this earlier and mentioned you're curing an entire layer on resin printing. So that's quicker than drawing a whole layer.
Yeah.
But the quality is as such that you're printing that many more layers
Yep. Yep.
than you would on an FDM printer.
Yep.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But also true. So why would someone 3D print in a tabletop aspect?
Many reasons, Fox.
Yeah, okay.
Many reasons. I think they would 3D print in a tabletop focus for cost, bulk armies for fewer dollars,
Yep.
convenience,
Yep.
not having to go out and order things online and wait for shipping and stuff like that. You just buy
Totally.
the SCL and whack it in the printer.
Yep.
And 3,
Whack it in there.
being able to customize it.
Yeah.
Print what you want, not kit bash. You
Yeah.
can virtually kit bash.
You totally
digitally kit bash.
Yeah. Digitally kit bash.
Yep.
That's so true.
I don't know if I'm right. Am I right?
Let me check. No. Gosh. Rory
Rory's
has a
giving me the
question.
thumbs
Oh, I gave you the thumbs up.
Yeah.
They're actually in the background to tell us if we're being racist or going to get cancelled for what we say.
Yeah, that's for the last episode.
yeah.
It was required. we
So-
diversify a little bit here.
So far, it's good. We've got nothing but thumbs up, which is great.
Yeah.
So, the things you could print, by the way, on the
Yep.
two different types of printers, because people are going to hear about FDM and or resin printing many times. But typically, as we've mentioned before, FDM printing, quicker, cheaper, much less hands-on involvement in the cleanup process. Perfect for things like terrain, where you
Yep.
don't care about the detail as much. And you're printing those bigger scale pieces.
Yeah.
Resin printing, perfect for tokens, miniatures, high detail, smaller objects. Because resin printing is printing that many more layers, it's got higher detail. For example, when you're printing an FDM print, you typically would print on something like 0.2 of a millimeter per
Yep.
layer. Which, if you think about a millimeter being very small, 0.2 of that, tiny.
So you need 5 layers to make 1 mil.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep. You can print higher quality. You can go up to like 0.1
Yeah.
or even better on some FDM printers. However, your average layer size on a resin printer is 0.04 or 0.03 or
Okay,
even
wow.
0.02.
Wow.
So you could be
Yep.
printing 10 layers on a resin printer for every one layer. And obviously, the more the layers, you think about it as if it's pixels in an image,
Yep.
the more you have, the better.
Yeah. Yep.
The better resolution. So it's like that. And that's the two differences. When we talk about resin printing, we're probably talking about miniatures, tokens, dice, smaller things, intricate details, FDM, terrain. I actually haven't found I know some people that print miniatures on FDM printers. I don't think it doesn't compare to resin, but some people have surprised me with the quality they've been able to get out of resin printers. I'm sorry, FDM.
Yeah.
Anyways, so some people say, why? Why would I print? Knowing those are the two different types, how do I choose one? Why would I do it? Is it worth it? Etc.
Yep.
So you mentioned some good points. One thing I do love is the availability that you kind of mentioned, which is like, yeah, if I want a product from a company, I have to find a local store, drive to that store, go get it if they've got it in stock.
Yeah.
And we've got limited local gaming stores around here. We've got Guff and we've got Throw the Dice.
That's right. Within the space of sort of half an hour, if you extend that to an hour, it does up a bit.
Yeah, we could probably get some stuff.
But that's, if you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour each way, that's a drive.
And that's a drive to go get something that might be in stock from a limited range. You think about the companies that make miniatures. Let's pretend collectively all these companies, Corvus, Bally, Games Workshop, all of them. Let's say they make 1,000 miniatures. There are some stores on My Mini Factory that have 1,000 miniatures just in their collection.
Oh, yeah. It's
and
incredible.
There's thousands of those creators with thousands of miniatures.
Yeah.
So the range of the selection at which you have, the availability of all these different, and you can pick, the cool thing is you can pick your flavor.
Yeah.
So you might be like, I want to do fantasy, but I want it to be ultra realistic. I'm looking for specifically like ghoulish looking miniatures. I want it to be this scale. Whatever your flavor is, there is that. It exists in 3D printing.
Yep.
Because you will be able to find that with the huge range of miniatures that are online, on the line.
On the lines.
Which is really cool because I'm always like, I haven't been interested in fantasy style games typically. I'm more of a sci-fi dude.
Definitely. But with 5 Leagues...
Yeah, 5 Leagues is very cool. And Rangers of Shadow Deep has me interested. And there are some other stuff, but 5 Leagues particularly. And the thing that I found the coolest, the thing that dragged me into 5 Leagues interest a little bit more was this company called Lord of the Print that does ultra realistic fantasy style models.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool because I feel like that would exist. The goofy, out of proportion, like other stuff that some people do, I'm just like, I don't love it.
Yeah.
Because if I saw that in real life, it's comical to me.
Yeah.
But some people love that aesthetic and they can print that. That's awesome. And so there's like something for everyone, readily available at all times. And how much do you think it cost me to print one miniature on my resin printer?
Cents?
Yeah.
Had to guess.
A few of them.
Yep.
For sure. It's like 50 cents to like $1 for a miniature. Yeah, per miniature.
Okay.
So that's something that's interesting because I feel like still a lot of people don't really understand how cheap it is to actually print the miniature in material cost alone.
Yeah. So like you're talking a bottle of resin is like 30 odd bucks, right?
It's like 40 bucks.
That's
Australian. 40 to 50.
So you could print 40 Space Marines, not Space Marines.
Yeah, sure. That's a good example. Yeah, because I would actually print way more than that.
Yeah.
Out of a bottle of resin, I would get way more than 40 Space Marines. I'd probably get 80.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. If we're talking that kind of scale.
Yep.
Space soldiers.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Space soldiers.
Yep.
Terran. I saw some cool Terran files.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, we're getting...
Not Terran.
Not Terran. Space soldiers. Space soldiers. Space soldiers.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's insanely cheap.
Yep.
But the thing that people don't talk about, I suppose, is all the overheads.
Yep.
Which actually, if you're printing for yourself, something to note is that there is not a ton of overheads.
Yep. So like costing, just running the machine as in electricity is bugger all. Like,
bugger all.
You wouldn't even notice it?
Yeah, I don't. I notice it if I have all 3 of my FDM printers going all day round for the full 3-month cycle of my electricity bill.
That quarter rolls around and you go, okay, yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah. There's like an extra $100 on that. I'm like, that's interesting. Over 3 months for 3 printers running 24/7.
$1 a day.
Should probably turn them off.
Yeah.
when I'm not using them. But yeah, it's negligible. The electricity cost is negligible.
Cleanup?
The STLs. Cleanup, I mean, I only use water washable resin. So all of my information I give you is based on water washable resin, which is super easy for cleanup.
Yep.
You just hose that down, and if you want to kill the environment, that's your piece of environment you bought. That's your backyard. You could do that.
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah,
man.
you could do that.
No.
Just put it in the ether.
No.
That's someone else's problem. Isn't
I
that how
feel
it
like
works?
you should probably wash it and leave it in a tub and then let the water evaporate.
That's totally what I do. Whatever is the good thing that people are supposed to do, that's what I do. Yeah, I wear gloves, glasses, mask.
Like a smock.
Like a smock. Yeah, I use an art smock.
Yeah. No, I'm talking like a smock for like other things.
Bro, I've not heard the word smock, and I work in a school for literal years. Yeah. And I was thinking how much we need to get my son an art smock.
Smock. Yeah.
What
a word.
What a word. Yeah. Smock. Yeah.
Smock, yep.
Yeah, I got a smock. And I dispose of my stuff responsibly.
Yeah, good.
I clean my miniatures responsibly.
You heard it here first.
So you should do that also.
Yep.
But if you don't want it, it's fine. No, okay, yeah, no, it's not good. So yeah, so you buy the file, you print the miniatures. You can have 10 dudes for, including the cost of the file, running costs, et cetera, maybe like $15.
Okay, yeah.
You got 10 dudes for $15.
Yeah.
That's 50 cents each. Files usually $5 to $10.
Yep.
If not free. So it's insanely cheap. And some people go, oh, why shouldn't I just get my mate to print it or buy printed models instead? I don't need a printer. If it's so cheap, I'll just pay someone else to do it.
Yeah.
But by the time you want to do it professionally, so therefore have to pay someone who's doing it professionally, I feel like the cost skyrockets. Because then they're covering the cost of maintenance on the printers.
Yeah, yeah.
They're buying the files, printing the miniatures, their time, and also the commercial licensing required to legally sell those models.
Okay. Which is generally, from what I've seen, right, a commercial license can be in the form of like a higher Patreon tier.
Correct.
For example, you might subscribe to a Patreon for $15 a month and get all these awesome models, or you pay $50 a month
Yeah.
and you get a commercial license where you can print and then sell those models.
That's correct. I found commercial licensing to be either that $50 a month,
Yep.
or $500 to $1,000 per year.
Wow.
So
$1,000.
$1,000. Pretty cheap, actually. So yeah, and that adds the cost because you imagine a super popular, does it for a living resin printing business selling miniatures on Etsy.
Yeah.
Absolutely making a killing. Probably sells, if I had to guess, 30 orders a month, one a day, maybe a few a day, whatever it looks like. But in that, only maybe a fifth of those are from this particular company. Like they'd have to have so many different commercial licenses.
Yeah, which the costs would just skyrocket there.
It does, because I was looking at, like, say, let's go off the print terrain.
Yeah.
It sells terrain. It's an Australian FDM. But they do resin as well. They print terrain.
They started doing resin, right? That's
Yeah, they
fairly
have.
new. They've done FDM for a while.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was comparing them to Games Workshop and pricing. And I was like, it's the same pricing
Yeah.
as solid plastic kits.
Yeah.
But the difference is you've got more of a range, because with Games Workshop, you've got what they choose to sell. With one off the print terrain, you've got what all these different creators want to sell. But there was like a piece of terrain that was like $100 or $90 for 3 shipping containers and a bunch of scatter for Games Workshop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For $90. There was $80 for 3 shipping containers from off the print. No scatter. I was like, wait, Games Workshop's cheaper?
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Games Workshop's a bargain.
Yeah.
So, and then even resin printing for miniatures, I saw on Etsy stores, you could get 10 Space Marines from Games Workshop for $98 or whatever they are, less 20% because you buy from a local gaming store or whatever.
20%.
Or 10. Let's say you went to Gap Games, you did 21% off. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yep.
What is that? $20 off 100? Probably, roughly.
Yeah, roughly.
That's $80. The same 10 miniatures would cost roughly between $45 and $65 for resin printed.
Yeah, right.
So still cheaper, but not as cheap as you would think.
No, but then resin not being as easy to work with as plastic.
Yeah, probably a bit more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love my FDM printers because you hit print,
Yeah.
the file prints, you take it off, it's done.
Yeah.
Whereas on my resin printer, you got to slice it up, which is fine. You do that for FDM as well.
Yeah.
But usually you have to play around with supports a little bit more. You print it, scrape it off, wash it, warm it up, remove supports, dry it, cure it, done.
Yeah.
And then after all that, it's a much more brittle, less easy to work with product than hard plastic. So,
yeah.
So there's all these different things to weigh up, but is it worth it for you? Maybe you're listening at home and you're like, why am I still here? What was the point of this discussion?
There is no point.
Maybe you're just like, I am close to pulling the trigger on a printer, but I want to know from someone who's had them for years, is it worth? But before I talk about that, I want to know, Shane, what's stopping you from buying a resin 3D printer right now?
Right now, time and effort, I think.
Sure.
Involved. I feel like, well, I know for a fact that 3D printing itself is a hobby, on its own. So it's going to take time. You're going to have failed prints. You're going to, you just run things up, let it go overnight or while you're at work or whatever, and you come home and it's like, it's failed halfway through. Okay, cool. Scrap that. Print it again. Figure out why it failed is obviously one of the reasons too. So there is more to it than just hitting, play and coming home and then there's your models done.
Yeah.
There is a lot to it. I feel like I haven't got the time for that. I haven't really got the effort and the energy for that. There's so many more things that I think I would rather do. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was so close to buying a printer.
Yeah,
Yours, in
mine.
fact. When you had enough of it. I was like, sweet, I'll take it. But then I was just thinking about it. I'm like, can I be bothered? Do I have the time?
What if I told you, like Morpheus? What if I told you, you could print and fail and clean up and do all the things involved with resin printing 3 times over? You failed, you print 3 times, you figured it out, you've redone it.
Yeah.
For what insanely less money, but also less time than it takes you to physically clip off and build a single kit from Games Workshop.
Yeah, true. Actually, I didn't think of that because there is that time that's involved. But I also enjoy the building aspect of models.
And that leans in perfectly to one of my points, which is I find for me that's the biggest difference in the style of people that want printers.
Yeah.
For me, the building, if I can cut that out for miniatures, that's a bonus.
So if you didn't have to build your models, there's no way in hell you'd do it.
Yeah, like at most, when you print miniatures, you could print torso, legs, head, weapons.
Yeah.
That's still way less than a traditional kit.
Yeah.
That's gluing in 4 or 5 pieces.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like torsos in like 3 bits.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. The shins for the intercessors is like, what is it? It's like a top leg, bottom leg thing that plugs into the thing, and then it's nuts.
I don't know anymore. But
I don't even know anymore.
I find the building side therapeutic. I like sitting there, putting like a Netflix show on or a YouTube video or something like that, and just clipping and mold line removing and sanding and filing. And drilling barrels.
You got to drill barrels.
I really enjoy doing that.
Well, if you enjoy doing that, you will hate not doing any of that, because the hobby side is actually, I'd say like the traditional hobby side, what you're talking about is completely removed from the process when you're 3D printing. Like it's done digitally, like you said, and you can't kit bash once that thing is printed because resin is insanely brittle.
So you couldn't like get a saw and like saw an arm off?
Ugh.
Nah.
Every resin printer or a person who has like hard resin models.
Yeah.
Just knows.
Okay.
Like it's like cutting a marble. You like cut it here and just like a chunk clips off. And
Never cut a marble before.
Everyone cuts marbles, right? You all cut marbles? No? Okay, it's just me out there cutting marbles.
Yeah.
What? I guess you all had the internet or something when you were growing up. I didn't have Smash Bros till I was 23. I was cutting marbles, dude. So, yeah, I think that's something that's missing, like that just doesn't exist in the resin world. I mean, I could be wrong. People will prove me wrong pretty quick, I'm sure.
Do you think that'll change, though? Do you think resin printing is going to change, or is it going to be led to the more, is it going to stay more for people like yourself that doesn't want to build models, that just wants to slap them on the bed and print?
I feel like it's just a byproduct of the materials used. I mean, like FDM printing has come a long way with the different types of materials they're putting into their machines. So potentially there'll be, and there already is a ton of different types of resin, water washable, eco, etc.
Yeah.
So maybe there will be ones that you can cure and they're a little bit more malleable.
Flexible.
Yeah. I think there is flexi resin actually that said that.
Yeah.
So potentially, but yeah, I don't know.
At this current stage, not happening.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just in my little water washables. Like, why would you use? That's a thing I can't fathom having to deal with. Is just like the bio waste of dealing with isopropyl alcohol or whatever they have to use to wash your traditional resin.
Sure.
You have to fill your tub with it and clear it out. Oh, ugh.
Maybe a bucket or an ice cream container or something.
Ugh. Your wash and cure machine, probably. If you've got one, surely you've got one of those. And that's another big thing about 3D printing is the outlay.
Yep.
So something you need to consider. You mentioned buying my printer earlier. I remember in December, I was feeling a certain type of way about 3D printing.
Yep.
I was feeling like it's all consuming. I feel like I have to print 24/7 to get value out of this machine.
Yep.
I feel like I'm constantly printing models I'll never paint or play games with.
Yep.
Because when you spend $500 on a printer, you have to distribute that cost across the miniatures that you print.
Yeah. So, okay. So you were at this point where you're like, every minute it's not printing, I'm losing money.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah. But like, I also understand too, it's like, okay, if I've printed 500 models, that's $1 a model.
Pretty good.
It's paid for itself.
Except now I have 500 models.
Now you have 500 models unpainted.
Unpainted.
But built.
Which is more than I could say for all of my previous models.
Yeah.
So now my backlog has increased, the stress of needing to paint those models, and I still have a resin printer. So what am I going to do with it? Keep printing. I got to.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And the same with terrain. I'm just like, well, I got to keep these things going. Otherwise, same deal. I spent $300 on these machines. Mm-hmm. I need to get $300 of terrain out of them at least.
Yeah.
For them to make their money back.
Okay.
Air quotations.
Yeah.
But I've got 3 machines making $1,000 of terrain. Do I need that much terrain? I play one war game a month.
Yeah.
You know? Or there it is over there, the one war game we play.
Yeah, it was fun.
Or one a week, regardless.
Yeah.
Yes, it's insanely cheap. The one thing I will say is it's helped me prioritize miniatures.
Okay.
And purchases. Mm-hmm. Because now I have to really love something. The creator, the person who's designed it, has to really win me for me to spend X amount on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biggest problem I have is just that. The pressure of knowing I need to continuously print with this thing to get the value out of it.
Okay.
And yeah, you could sell it or whatever.
You're saying sell your prints.
Sell your prints or your printer. Just get out of there.
It's like,
yeah. So yeah. Anyways, that's something that I struggled with. That's how I felt in December. Mm-hmm. But it's tricky because it's one of those things where once you try it, you can find it's for you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I did. I turned it off for a few months and was like, oh, I don't need it. Just stresses me out. Printing these things I'll never paint or play with. It's not for me. Sell it, move on, buy actual miniatures, support companies. That's another thing as well. You got to remember when you want to play these games, you probably want to play them in your local gaming store.
Yep.
You're also not supporting that gaming store when you're printing those minis.
That's exactly right. And like without that gaming store getting those purchases, they can't pay their rent, can't pay their bills.
They close down next year. Yeah. Cool. You got a bunch of 3D printed miniatures and great games to play.
No one
you better be doing it. You better be doing it in your shed because that gaming store closed down.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting side effect of the hobby that watch this space. I feel like hopefully more gaming stores jump on the 3D printing chain.
Do you think they'll offer like a 3D printing service or something like that? Because
I
feel like more and more games are coming out these days where it's like,
miniature
hey, just
agnostic.
print your miniatures, or use whatever you want. We don't care if they're printed.
Yep.
Yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, but like, if more people are making rules for games and less people are making models, eventually, like, what are you going to have?
Yeah, there are tens of thousands of new STLs being posted every week.
Yeah.
And probably hundreds of miniatures every week.
Because people can make those STLs without having to pay for the equipment to manufacture hard plastic models, soft plastic kits. Everything needs molds. Everything needs hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of machinery to make that model kit.
Yeah, it's so true. Like I think is it like $250,000 from start to finish of making a like a Games Workshop industrial standard. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised
because by the time you pay your CAD,
designer,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
The company to make the mold, and then obviously you've got more and more designers and people coming in and out of the equation.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's up there.
I feel like I heard that at some stage.
Yep.
But yeah, whereas it takes one dude, 8 hours.
With a program that you could buy like on special for $100 or something like that.
Well, ZBrush pretty expensive, but yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much is it?
ZBrush, I feel like it's like maybe 30 to 50 USD a month.
Okay, so it's like a monthly subscription.
Yeah, ZBrush is really good though.
Yeah, right.
But there are other ones. There are other ones. But anyways.
A CAD designer of some sort.
Yeah, some sort. Yeah. CAD designer, I feel like that's like saying ATM machine.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
After I said it, I'm like, wait, that's wrong.
That's wrong.
It's like pin number.
Sorry, you are wrong, Shane. You are wrong.
Okay.
So, but what I've been insanely surprised at is the cost of these devices, man. It's nuts. So like you can I bought 3 3D printers for my school.
Yep.
The Anycubic Cobra. It's sort of a newer FDM printer from Anycubic, so the students can, design stuff and print them on these things.
Oh, nice.
But what I was most worried about, anyone that does 3D printing, like you said, it's a hobby in and of itself.
Someone to look after it.
You've got troubleshooting, you've got maintenance, you've got all these things. It's quite a unique product. If you buy something from anywhere else, any other product, and it doesn't work in like 6 months, you're like, oh, it's under warranty, you give me a new one.
Yeah.
3D printing is not like that. They're like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Make sure you fix this. I can send you this part. Install it yourself.
Too many things to go wrong.
And you're like, can you just not send me a new one? They're like, no. 3D printing is different, man.
And it's not like your car. You can't take it to the mechanic.
That's it.
Be like, something's wrong with it.
Yeah, help fix.
Yeah.
I've done 10,000 prints, help fix. Yeah, exactly. But the costs and how much maintenance is required are both dropping dramatically on both types of printers.
Okay, that's good.
So it was like $350 for each printer of these Anycubic Cobras. And I've had one over the last 6 months, non-stop printing in classrooms.
Wow.
Have one issue
that
I was able to fix.
Nice.
Which is crazy to me because my printers break all the time. And these kids are like cutting like mid-print, they'll cut the filament just for a joke. So the print will just fail. And they'll like move the desk with the printers on them and just, kid stuff.
Yeah. People like that.
And I'm just like, I'm not even mad.
Yep.
I would do the exact same thing.
Yep.
But like these things have just been gunning. And so that's the new wave of printers, especially FDMs, like $300. Pretty plug and play.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind because that printers were anything but plug and play when I started doing it a couple of years ago.
Well, I mean, it's all about like the outlook. You can look at a printer and be like, yeah, it's plug and play.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then they
break.
catch fire.
And then they catch fire. But you were horrible. No, I'm just kidding. You set it on fire. You literally set it on fire to see what would happen.
I did.
And now it's on fire. I've made a mistake.
Something's wrong.
Yeah. And resin printers, mine has been insanely plug and play. I'm a big dum-dum with resin printers.
Sure.
I slice up things, I put them in, and I print them. And 9 times out of 10, they print just like they look in the pictures. And I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
This is nuts. And then one time they'll fail, and I'll be like, okay, I'm not printing that again.
Yeah, something's wrong with that file.
Yeah, that file's busted. Scrape those off the bed.
Yep.
New file in.
Yep.
So much cool stuff. Why would I waste time?
Exactly.
So is it for you? I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yes or no? It is a lot of time. It's quite all-consuming. And even if it isn't, you feel that way because of the outlay you've done in it. Mm-hmm. If you're someone who plays a lot of different games and can paint quickly or doesn't care about painted models, I feel like it is for you.
Yep.
I was talking to Churchy earlier about the game we're playing over there at the moment, FTL War Fleets.
Yep.
And I printed those 2 fleets for us in 4 days earlier on, and I printed all that terrain in 2 days. So on Monday, you could have nothing. And you could be like, hey, Shane, want to play a game on Saturday?
Yep.
And you could print terrain and 2 fleets and play a game.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts.
And all for, I think, about $45, $50, which is also insane. Because as Churchy mentioned, if that was maybe a bigger company who is not to be named, that would be like a $300 to $500 box.
Starter set.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
But that being said, you could go there, pick it up and be home like in an hour.
Of what?
If it was a big company.
Oh, but it would take you a week to build.
Would it
take you
though?
a week to build.
Maybe you.
Easily. If it's in stock, if you haven't missed out on the FOMO.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you haven't missed out on the FOMO. Yeah, you could go. Yeah, that's a good point. You could go pick it up, buy it for $500.
But that is not readily available. That one game there where we were playing is not readily available to go to a shop and buy and come home and play.
No, but you could go and buy a printer and come home and get started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it for you? I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You decide.
Yeah. But I would say it's that. It's going to come down to how quickly you can paint miniatures, play games.
Yep.
If you're one of those people like us, reasonably tied up with life and you can play once a week, I don't know if 3D printing is for you because you're going to be printing hundreds of models and you're just like, oh, for example, for me, I'm just like, why am I printing these? I have hundreds of models already not painted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That are more expensive material that I've spent hours building.
Yeah.
So what am I doing? Like, what am I actually doing?
Yeah.
So that's a potential situation you could be in. If you play games all the time, paint all the time,
Go for
it's
it.
perfect.
Do it. Get one.
It's a no-brainer. 40 cents a miniature. What did I say? 30, 50, $1? Whatever it is.
Between
Who cares?
$1 and $5. I don't know.
And you can make money. It's crazy not to. You'd be crazy not to. Anyways, 3D printing.
Yep.
It's interesting. We love it. Jump in the Discord. We've got a 3D printing channel.
Yeah, we do. We get some love from time to time.
Yeah. I print in there mostly and be like, look at me. Look at my miniatures. And then someone posts something better and I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess I'm no one.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some great 3D printers in there with some great advice, so jump on in.
Hell yeah. Links on hobbyhomies.com.
Yeah.
From there, you can find links to our merch as well. Other shows.
Hey, by the way, we have a second channel.
We have a second channel
Go and sub and get ready.
on the YouTubes.
It's called...
Hobby Homies Videos.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is it going to be linked in the description of this
It
one?
will be. Absolutely. in
One
this one. Yeah, that's where we're going to start posting all of our battle reports and other non-podcast related content.
Yeah, that's
I guess
it.
everything's related to the podcast in a way, but things that aren't episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If it's videos or videos.
Yeah, or vlogs or whatever crazy shit we're up to.
If it's not a podcast episode,
it's in there.
it's in that one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go sub to that because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to miss out on a battle report.
No.
These guys do God tier battle reports once every 6 months.
S tier at least.
Yeah, at least. So go give that a sub. Also check out Binge-Worthy Breakdown. When's their next episode coming out?
They are recording on Friday. Next one
Week.
coming.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Today's Friday.
Today's Sunday. New episodes every Sunday.
Yeah, episodes every Sunday.
Yeah.
They're still carrying through Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Where are they up to? Do you know off the top of your head?
Halfway through season 4.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's getting good.
Listen to that.
Getting real good.
Watch that as you listen to that. That's
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got merch. Although, quick merch update.
Yep.
We're going to be turning off the merch store.
Yep. We got some big plans, and I think for the most part, it's good. We'll turn that off for a while.
Yeah, we're going to turn it off for a little minute.
Yep.
Make an announcement when it's back up.
Yep.
Probably in a couple months.
So if there's any merch that you guys want to get, we don't want to induce any FOMO.
Yeah,
but
you won't miss out.
You won't miss out. But if you want to grab some soon,
Yeah.
by the end of Feb, the store's going down for a little while.
Yeah.
And then coming back later in the year.
You won't be able to get it until it comes back out. So this isn't FOMO. You can just grab it when the store's back up. But
Or
if
they
you
can-
want stuff for the next X amount of months,
Yeah.
can't get it.
Or they want to
Hurry
get
up before you miss
right
out.
now before they miss out.
Yeah. You don't. I hope you don't have a fear of
Missing
not
out.
getting it, because that would be horrible.
That's terrible.
But hurry
Who would
up and
inflict
get it.
such a thing?
No, but quickly.
Yeah.
You'll
Massive
miss out.
shout out to our patrons as well.
Absolutely.
Without you guys, we couldn't do what we do.
And we do what we do because of the likes of Burnsy, Final Dinosaur, Lethal, Gritty, Anax, MJ, Whack the Ewok, Test, and Black Apollo.
We've also got Moose, Alco, Churchy, thanks Churchy, Rad Rooster, Oliver, Hockers, Penny, Aggro, Don One Don, and Big Roach.
Your continued support keeps us printing and talking, I guess.
Shit.
Yeah. Thank you for the beers. Thank you for the lights. Thank you for your love.
Yep.
See you next week.
Hooroo.
Woo! Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a penny time red.